What's up, everybody? It's Miranda and Kat coming to you with the first episode of the Women's Roller Hockey times Roller Dad News podcast, coming with you guys all summer, covering every single detail of women's roller hockey. We have a ton of stuff to cover today, all NARCh Finals details, super hyped, lots of teams to go through. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's open up with the 9 and under division. We've never seen a division this young, which is huge. It's probably a big shout out to the draft that happened just a couple months ago. I mean, they had that younger division. It really helped out with bringing the littles out. So this is huge. We've got 6 teams competing in the 9 and under. We've got NCI Phoenix, we've got Zulu all the way from across the pond. We got the Brats, we got Bandits, we got Roadrunners, and we got the top shelf Bulldogs.
Off the bat, do you have anybody that you think will probably be a surprise in this division? I mean, obviously, Ringster's going to have a great team. Top Shelf, too. They have a really great program with girls coming in, growing up, and being really successful players. And so, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, being from Corona, I think I might be a little biased because I've seen all these Bulldogs girls kind of growing up and playing around here, and they've been really good and really solid. And I know they competed it a couple weeks ago with that AAU tournament, and they did really good. But I'm really excited to actually see a San Luis team. I mean, I don't think that we've ever seen a San Luis Obispo team, especially not for girls. So I'm super pumped to kind of see some of the talent coming out of there. I'm really interested to see the Roadrunners as well.
No, me too. I think they're out of Reading, and they are run by Tani, who is an NCI Phoenix player, I believe. Shout out Tani. And they have a ton of great talent too. And so super excited. Obviously, Ringster obviously always comes with the firepower. I'm sure they'll have some ringers, and Zulu and Phoenix always bring really good players. So yeah, moving on to the 13U girls division. We got Haichu, NCI Phoenix, the Ringster Junior team, and then 2 brand new teams, both from Top Shelf Bulldogs Teal and Top Shelf Bulldogs Pink. It just looks like the Bulldogs are bringing in like a ton of girls' talent in this youngers division. I'm sure you know some more specific players on those teams, but I know that for like what's her name, Dora Keith. She was at the women's draft like a couple weeks ago. She is absolutely unreal. She's like 11. She's so gross, so awesome, and she's got filthy style too with that fishbowl.
She looks great. And then when you piggyback off that, I mean, you've got Riley Frank on that team, and she is just a powerhouse forward. I mean, she is just great for the Bulldogs. And I know she's been playing on the boys' side, and then she's also been doubling up on the girls' side, and she has just been great for them. And she's a nice girl. She has good chemistry with the team, and it's great to watch her. I know their goalie, Lonnie, she's great, nice kid. I mean, she's a good goalie. She's gonna be great in net for them.
I actually believe I might have misspoke, and Dora is playing with the Ringster team for 13s, is what Laura told me. And so she'll probably be a big part of the success on that Ringster Junior team. NCI Phoenix also always brings a good chunk of players. Haichu, they've been around for a long time. Alex Morrison, great coach, coming in with some more younger divisions. Hopefully next year we'll see them in the 9U division as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those San Diego girls look like they're really starting to bloom, and I mean, it's definitely going to be growing down there. He's done a great job growing that program. He runs that ice team down there, and they've been doing great. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get to see some younger faces. Okay, and moving on to women's gold, it looks like we've got 6 teams this year. We've got the Epic Empire, we've got Ducks on Wheels, Encore, who we've never seen before, Haichu, NCI Phoenix, and Rosewall Hockey.
I know that Encore actually made their NARCh debut technically at Winter Nationals this past January. They had some former pro players who are now kind of, I guess, looking for a little bit more of a chiller vibe instead of that like competitive powerhouse of the pro division that we got this year specifically. I think Amanda Hardwick is on that team. She was on the 30 and over Masters team that just was in Germany, and she was carrying that team through and through. She was doing amazing. I've played with her before. She's a great person, great human. And then I believe some other older Ringster players are also on that team now. NCI obviously always coming through with great gold program. Haichu, same thing. I'm sure they'll have some of their younger 19U players on that team. And then Epic Empire, always a force to be reckoned with. Ducks on Wheels, some of the Ducks girls that are trying to start and get into the roller scene, but nothing too serious. And then Rose Bowl, they won Winter Nationals. Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did. But I'm also, touching back on Haichu, I'll be interested to see if they bring back Peyton Hickson, who was the top scorer last year for them. She was huge for that program. But yeah, going back to Rose Bowl, they won Winter Nationals and, pretty tight game actually. But we're excited to see them. They had a really good squad coming into it, and I'm hoping they have another one here. I mean, we're looking forward to women's gold. I think it'll be a competitive division. And like you said, maybe it's players that are looking for something a little bit less stressful than pro, but these women still want it. They want it a lot. And
Oh,
so
for sure.
I'm actually really excited to stop by and catch some games.
I wouldn't be surprised if Encore, if they ended up taking this win, if we see them move up into a pro division soon. They have the talent, they have the players, they have the depth. I think that they could probably make that move. I would also not steer away from thinking that Rose Bowl would also be making that jump soon, one of these days, one of these tournaments. I mean, Kim Mel, I don't know whether she's playing on this team or whether she's playing pro with the Terrapins, but she was an absolute force at Winter Nationals. She was the top scorer at Winter Nats this past year for Rose Bowl and Women's Gold, and she is just so smooth on her skates, and she's stops on a dime. Hate to play against her, love to have her on her team, kind of thing.
Of course, that's the perfect combination.
Yeah, awesome. And then moving on to women's 30s. This is the second year of the women's 30 plus division, and we have a ton of new teams. We got the Lady Guardians, Rose Bowl bringing in a new 30 plus team, Dust Bunny Blues, and the Pulsar team. Those are 4 of the 6 teams. And then we got coming back the La Beta Golden Girls, and then Sammy's Pals. Sammy's Pals was, I believe, formerly named Mel's Pals. They changed the name to honor Sammy and her family. Shout out to all of those, and always got you in our prayers, Sammy. I don't know many of these teams at all for 30 plus. I think we'll be seeing some, maybe, who knows, some of the older girls in pro make that debut in 30 plus. I don't think many of them played in it last year from what I'm aware of. But hopefully we can see some people coming back and making their NARCh comeback. But again, I'm a little bit more clueless on this division than the other ones. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for this division, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some really tight games here. I don't think that younger always means better, faster doesn't always mean better. I mean, when you have these ladies who have been in the game for so long, they know the plays they want to run. They're very particular about how they want to do it, and they know how to get down to the nitty-gritty details. So I'd be pretty excited to see this division. I can't say I know a whole lot of people in there, but I'm sure it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, we see it with, for example, even just like going into like a quick comparison to pro, like Ringster doesn't have a lot of youth on their team, but they've been playing together forever and their chemistry is completely unmatched. And I could totally see that being a point of focus for this 30 plus division of just people who have been playing together for forever. And I can't wait to see it because honestly, sometimes the best roller, yeah, skill is great, but sometimes the best roller to watch is one where it's just tic-tac-toe and, they don't even have to look to see where the other person is going to be to pass the puck. So I'm really excited.
Actually, they had this debate yesterday on one of the Instagram stories. They were talking about, would the pro teams from 2000s be pro teams from now? They said how the pro teams from now are super, super skilled. But when you look back at the pro teams in the 2000s, I mean, it was all physical play. So, you have that physical play, you match it up with skill, or do you take skill and speed? I mean,
what would you take?
I mean, I personally am a fan of a little bit of physicality. I think if you the way of someone, how they're supposed to get there, how are you supposed to get to the goalie? But I also think that, if you have some set plays and you're able to get past people who are just trying to run and gun it, then you've got a fair chance just as much as the other guy.
Now, I've been watching a lot of old NARCh like film archives, and watching, like, for example, the men's Black Ice Pro team, how they played then and how they played now.
Mhm.
It's honestly a little bit different because you can see these teams kind of trying to adjust to the younger style that's coming in with these teams. And I don't think that's um any different
Right.
for women's. I think
I would
that
agree.
women's, especially with more ice hockey girls being involved in the divisions too. Um, you don't see as much patience.
Right.
And I think that actually Rinxer does a really good job of kind of holding their game plan in full force and being that team that owns the neutral zone. Same thing with Palma, old school roller. And so we've seen that win plenty of championships over the past couple of years. And so who knows what it'll be this year. Um, Alrighty. Moving on to our two big divisions. We have the 19U division and as well as women's pro. Kat and I are like extremely excited to talk about the 19 division, I think more than any of the divisions because we are super involved in this division. We're both co-coaching the Black Ice 19U team together along with Lexi Yace, and we are super, super excited for this division. Who are your standouts? What are the teams? Give me the lowdown.
I mean, I'm excited to see Zulu. They gave us such a battle last year. Their goalie was phenomenal. Kaylee Driver, if you're watching this, you're great. I mean, I think they also had the top scorer last year, didn't they?
Yeah, Allison Vilio, I
Yeah, I
believe.
mean, she was great. I mean, that whole team, I noticed they all had the matching helmets, so I'm assuming they all play ice together. They are phenomenal. Their chemistry is great. They look great on the rink. They seem like they get along. I mean, there's nothing better than that. It's so hard to find a group that you all get along with and you can all match the chemistry off the rink and on the rink. And so for Zulu, I think that's what they really have in their corner is that something so huge for them. I'd like to talk about that we don't see Palma this year. That
Yeah.
maybe due to the European Championship, kind of a conflict. I know it's kind of running at the same time. I mean, that's kind of a shock. We see Palma every year, and every year as a 19 and under, you're kind of like, oh my goodness, like I have to play Palma again. But I mean,
Exactly.
it's a credit to them. Like they're a great team, and they're hard to play against, and those are
Yeah.
the fun games. Obviously, I'm excited to see our team. I'm super pumped for this summer. I'm so excited to be with you and Lexi. I mean, I'm so glad to be on board. I had a blast playing for you guys last year. It was so much fun. All the girls were great. NCI. I'm excited to see NCI. What
Yeah,
do you
me
think?
too. Yeah, I think that team is kind of led by I don't know if I'm pronouncing their last name right, but Minach, I think is Mitnach. Minach twins, and they kind of run that team. Like the entire offense is running through them, and I think that they're a really good kind of older veteran presence for this division in terms of, the vets are only like 18, 19, but they've been in this
Mm-hmm.
division since it's been around since 2021. And
Mm-hmm.
so I would not be surprised if we see them, get the girls on NCI, kind of round them up and just kind of have them be that captain sort of presence there as well. And then I want to say that they also have some younger players. Mackenzie, she was at the women's draft and she did pretty well in the fastest skater division from what I remember, from when I was doing my little stint at announcing then. Um, but as well as something super, super cool, we have two new teams in the 19U division. We have actually technically three, but we'll stick with two. But Skittles, which I was a little
We've
surprised
never seen.
has. Yes, we've never seen, which I was also a little surprised that I don't think they have anything to do with the Skittles men's pro team, but I could be wrong. But from what I know, that's a bunch of like 15, 16-year-olds that play on the Gold Rush ice hockey team, and it's run by Eddie Hedge. And so, nothing a little bit more fun than facing a team that you know literally nothing about, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm just so pumped to see a new team, and it's great that we have this division going and now it's growing, right? We have these new teams coming in, we have new girls cycling in, and it didn't take away from anything. So I'm super, super pumped that we finally get to see some fresh faces, new competition, and hopefully some tight games. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
looking for some really good competition here. I'm super, super pumped to see this 19s division. And then the other new team we have is the Bulldogs. I mean, they've put in teams in every single of these girls' divisions, and I'm super excited for them. And I'd really like to give a shout out to Lauren Kaufman. She's been doing great ever since I was a Bulldog, from long before. She had been pushing the girls program for so, so long. And I'm so happy she finally got to get everything together. I mean, a 9U, 13U, and 19U, does it get much better than that?
I mean, we only have a 19. I'm hoping that in the future we get a 13U and a 9U, but like genuinely, it's a huge shout out to the development of their program and how well they're
Yeah.
able to just kind of churn out girls who are just constantly at the top of the pro division at such a young age. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
and on top of that, like this Bulldogs team is led by none other than longtime Bulldog Chloe Sapra, right? And so
Wonderful. Wonderful. Great teammate. Love her. Great lady.
Even though there's a huge disadvantage with a competitive team like Palma not being in the 19U division, it opens up a door for Chloe to come in and be a captain and vet presence for these younger girls who have probably looked up to her their entire lives,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. And just like I touched on Riley Frank earlier with the 13 and under, I think she's going to be great here for the 19 and under as well. I mean, she's a smart player. She trains all the time, and I'm super excited to see her against some tough competition.
Yeah, I mean, she was at the draft, and it was kind of like a battle between her and Dora to see which one of their teams would win. But
Mm-hmm.
her shot and her absolutely filthy mitts were just unparalleled compared to everybody else at her age. I think she's what? She's 14, 13, turning 14?
I think 13 turning 14, she's young. And that's what's also super interesting about this Bulldogs team is you've got a lot of younger players,
Yeah.
right? So that's a team that you can really see grow throughout these years. You don't really have anyone that's aging out in the next year or two, so that's really good for them.
And who knows, maybe we could see that team turn into a future pro team. You know, them growing up together is really important. And so we can see that chemistry build from literally since they're 11, 12, 13, all the way up until 25. You know,
No,
and so
yeah,
there's so much room for that to grow. And
definitely.
then lastly, I guess they're technically a new team, right? The
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ringster team, I believe they're going as Ringster Puck Dynasty this time around for the 19 division, but they have a clean slate of new people on this team from what I'm aware of. They got a ton of girls from the Junior USA team, plus some original Ringster girls. You know, you got
Mm-hmm,
your Jolie Savoy and Net. Obviously, what a force, brick wall. That they're gonna have
mm-hmm,
to rely on her all tournament long to be able to, make it to that platinum division this year.
mm-hmm.
And then as well as the biggest addition that I think on offense, technically, I think even though she's a defenseman, I think she is a huge proponent of offense on any team that she's on. Kelsey Olson. I am constantly impressed with her every single time I watch her play. She was at the women's draft and she was on the winning team with the Ducks with Chloe Sapra and Kylie Brown and Kayla DeMint. And she was unreal, unbelievable. And she's committed to ASU to play Acha D1 next year, I believe.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's great. I met her a couple years ago. She was the nicest person ever. And I just, something about that just warms my heart. But I'm so, so glad to see her playing in this 19U division. I think that this Ringster team is really going to be a force. Just like you said, Jolie's going to be great for them. I think she's going to have to hold them into a lot of games. But, Kelsey being kind of an offensive defenseman is going to be a really big factor for them. Nobody's really going to see it coming, except
Yeah.
now. Now that we said
Now everybody will see it coming. And another addition to that team, because Palma isn't putting in a team, Lily Winkler. I believe she was at Cushing Academy this past year. Fantastic ice hockey program through Cushing.
hmm
And I believe she went to the World Games with the junior team. And she was a really, really big proponent of that team as well. And so, you know, again, like we've been saying, more than being good players on the ice or on the tile at this point. It's being good friends with them off the rink as well. You know, off ice chemistry turns into on ice chemistry. So
hmm
I bet we're going to see that with this Ringster team. And I think a majority of them are also playing on a team together for pros. So that'll be really exciting.
Do we want to touch on black ice?
Oh yeah,
Shall
definitely.
we?
Had
Shall
to
we?
had to, as much as we're biased, we got some pretty big pickups and I'm really excited to see what they got this year. Starting with two of our new pickups. We're still in the air with one of them, but I know that Charlotte Chantra from Team France, she plays in Grenoble. She is absolutely filthy. She's one of the top scorers in that league right now. And we've been able to chat back and forth about her coming to play. Even though the European Championships end like a day before the 19 division, she'll be making her debut a day later after everybody else starts.
She's committed. She's ready
Yeah,
to
she's
be.
committed.
Sure is. I mean, we have and none other than Mackenzie Williams. We are so, so pumped to have her. I mean, for you and me, Matt kind of feels like a little sister. You know,
Yeah.
we've been around her so long and she's just this little light in the world and we just love having her around. So we're so excited to have her on the squad. I mean, who else would you like to touch on? Let's talk about your goalie.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. We got Natalie Meller coming in from Illinois. I believe
Mm-hmm.
that's where she's from. She was our goalie for State Wars Women's AAA last year. And man, she was
Phenomenal.
absolutely lights out. Lights out.
Yes.
We must, in the first game against Palma when we played you guys, we must have gotten outshot by like 30. And we only lost that game 2-0, and one of them was an empty net.
And
Like,
she didn't even look like she was sweating.
she
She done
exactly.
came off the rink and she was like, yeah, I did that. Okay, girl. Okay. I mean, she's just great.
Yeah.
She's such a nice person too. And I know I keep saying that, but I think it's such a huge thing, like especially around in the women's division. It's so
Yeah.
good to be nice to the other players. It's so good to have a good repertoire. I mean, she is just the kindest person. She came over and complimented me when we played at State Wars. And I was like, that was all you. I mean, she did everything. She was so good for your team. And I can't imagine if she'll be any different for this Black Ice team. I'm super, super pumped to have her.
Yeah, she's like so bought into. Like it's been so amazing to have somebody that just like completely buys into the program after playing one
Mm.
tournament. You know, I think that's super cool, and that's exactly what you want on your team. And then we have some newer players as well. Another one. She's young on the younger side. But Maddie DiChiero from the Black Ice, I believe 2014's team, which is crazy to say. Which is crazy to say.
She's a baby.
She's
I mean,
literally a
okay, not
baby.
in a patronizing way, but she's so young and it's so good
Yeah.
to get the youngers up and inside the program. I mean, all it takes is these younger girls to really just build up something super, super strong to have a strong foundation, just like we talked with the Bulldogs. I mean, they have all those younger girls and they're going to be able to grow on that for all these years. And now that's what you're starting to, we've got this
Yeah.
younger girl. I think she's what, 11?
Yeah, something
I
like that.
mean,
Mad young. Mad young.
come on, that's ridiculous. But I mean, we saw some of her highlights, we saw some of her clips. I know you talked to her dad. I mean, she is just great. And talk about buying in. She's only been with Black Ice, right?
For her entire life. And when I was on the phone with her dad, he was like, there's honestly nothing I would love more for her to be Black Ice forever.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
so
Love to hear it.
why not start them young?
Right? Exactly.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah. Quickly, Kat and I actually talked about shouting out all the coaches to all these younger divisions. We've given out smaller shout outs here and there, but we got to give credit where credit's due. I think starting off with Ringster, Laura, obviously, Allie, and Taylor Wynn. Joe Lee also has a big part in coaching those younger teams as well, and I think Alyssa too. Shout out to all of you guys. They also helped run all the draft and coaching all the younger divisions in the draft as well. It is a tiring process when you're coaching and then playing and everything like that. Kat and I know that very well. And so shout out to all of you guys. Ringster has grown so much in the past couple of years. It has been so inspiring for people like me and Kat who are now getting into doing that ourselves. And so thank you guys for paving the path to, growing those programs. And then
I mean, speaking of, should we touch on the draft?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. I mean, you played. What was it like?
Yeah, I mean, I was a captain this year, second year in a row. It was super awesome. I got to choose some players that I've never played with and some players that I've never gotten, that I've coached but never gotten to play with. And so that was really, really great. I believe the Ducks won. It was Chloe Sapra's team. She was the
Mm-hmm.
youngest captain. I don't know who's older, Alyssa or her, but I'm pretty sure Chloe's younger.
Mm-hmm.
And Chloe just had such a hell of a team. Hell of a
Oh yeah.
team. I think Kylie Brown, Kayla DeMint, Kelsey was on that team. And then I believe, I don't know her last name, but I'm pretty sure you could tell me who it is. This girl was so fast. Her name was Kai, I think.
Oh, Kai Calaveras.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. And
she
she played
was
with
so
Morrison for
fast.
a while. Yeah, she was with Alex for a bit. And then
Okay.
before that, I'm talking way back. She was with Emily Doran when she did like those PAMA teams, and then all those teams coming out of West Covina. She's been huge for that program. I mean, that's from so long ago, but was so glad to see her back again.
Yeah, and she did not miss a beat. She walked onto the rink and she was an impact player right away. It was super
Yeah.
cool. Another quick shout out to the Ringster team. Listen to this. They were the 8th seed and they were playing against the number 1 Dangle seed, which is Laura's team.
Mm-hmm.
And Tia put her backpack on, put her fanny pack on, was rolling her luggage through the rink. She
Oh,
had
Tia.
that team on her back. Oh my God. I don't even know what she was on, but she was like, I am not losing this game. I am not going home early. We're winning this.
No, of course. And I mean, I think that's what's so interesting about all these divisions, right? Is you
Yeah.
could go from being the last seed to coming out on top. You genuinely never know. It's all
Yeah.
about who straps up and who's ready to play that day. And I mean, for Tia,
Absolutely.
that was her time, you know? Tia was all there. She was all in. She was like, I got this, guys. Just hold on. You just give me a second. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you need. And it's all about buying into the game. I mean, genuinely, she probably was thinking about nothing other than winning that game.
Oh, for sure. And I think when you get something on her mind, I think even playing against her, you can tell that like all she wants, like give her the puck, she's gonna score. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And
And
it's
everybody loves an underdog story. Everybody loves.
I was eating it up. I was covering that tournament on the Instagram story, and I was like going crazy behind the glass. It was, yeah, I was with all the Ringster girls behind the glass, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, oh my God!" I'd never seen anybody like people react to a game like that in a long time. It was super cool.
But also so fun to see healthy competition between teammates. You
Oh,
know, you mentioned
absolutely,
that she played
yeah,
Laura, Tia against Laura. I mean, what a matchup.
yeah,
Genuinely. I mean,
exactly.
two of
And
their
you're not
most
gonna see
technically
that
skilled
ever again,
players.
you know?
Of course. Of course. I mean, it's just great to watch. Two technically skilled players. And I mean, it's just an absolute battle.
Yeah, it was super cool. And I want to say, of every team, I think, except for mine, maybe, had some Ringster Pro players on it. And
Mm-hmm.
there's honestly, what's better than having these pro players and then having these, gold, silver, bronze players come in and like look up to these players too.
Of course.
Everyone is setting an example for how we want to grow this division and how we want to grow the game. More importantly, that's what the event is all about. And
Right.
so people really take all that time not for granted, or I'm not sure what the saying is, but they definitely take advantage of the time that they get with
Absolutely.
those players.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's what's great about the draft is you do get to play with all these different skilled players, and I think you can learn a little bit from each and every one of them. You know, everybody's got their own style of play.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own ideas. Everybody's got their own breakouts, and I think that you can really learn a lot by watching other teams and other players. And so it's not to say that it's even just the pro players, teaching these silver, gold, bronze players things. I think that they can pick up on little habits, and the pro player can be like, "Oh, that might actually be a good idea." I never thought of that. Sometimes
everyone learns from everyone.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get so used to playing the same game over and over and over again that it can be harder to think outside the box when you're used to playing one way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it like pushes everybody a little bit outside of their comfort zone too. Because there are those players that have been playing with the same people for years and years and years,
Right.
and they won't get a different style of play until they, sign up for this women's draft tournament and meet new people. And it's just
Right.
such a great event. I love it.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I
How was the
recommend
happy
to
hour?
Oh, it was super fun. Every year we do a happy hour at I think Left Coast, West Coast, something like that. I don't know, Left Coast Brewing. And it is always so fun. The food is amazing. And everybody is just kind of like off the stress off the rink, like doesn't even get close to the
Mhm.
happy hour. Everybody is super, super stress free. And it's a great event. And I recommend to anyone who is looking to just get a start into roller hockey at all, that is the tournament to go to. Go to the women's draft tournament. We'll be having one next summer. May is generally the time
May-ish,
that we have it.
May adjacent.
May-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, if
um
you've got a daughter in the division, y'all need to strap up. Put on your skates, okay? Make it a mom
yes.
and daughter event, okay? Now's the time to do it. It's all growing. Your kids will be there. Your kids get to look up to you. Do it now. Now's the time.
Exactly. I could not agree more. I think the best example of that is Kim Mel. She had both of her kids in the youngest divisions. And her daughter Gabby was lights out.
Wonderful.
Lights out in net.
Mhm.
Wonderful. That's exactly what you want to see. Anyway, sorry. We got so carried away with the
Sorry,
draft.
sorry.
We
My
still
bad.
have a ton of coaching shout outs to give out, and we have to hit the
Yes.
pro division as well still.
Oh, of course.
Jordan Sullivan from Zulu. Let me say, this Zulu team for the 19s team normally only runs 7 players,
Mhm.
7 skaters, and a goalie. So 8 people total. It is so impressive how they come out every year and get so close to winning. And that's all credit to Jordan Sullivan, who puts a lot of time and effort into this Zulu girls program. And so shout out Jordan. We've been going back and forth a little bit, trying to see if some of his Zulu girls want to stay and play some more hockey. So who knows? Maybe you'll see some Zulu girls wearing some black ice stuff soon. Um, and then the last of the ones that I'm closer to, Julia and Ryan Dobbenmeyer from NCI's Phoenix. You guys always do an amazing job putting together all these teams and, kind of just spreading the love of NCI throughout NARCh Finals. And so we always look forward to seeing y'all's name on the team list because we know that you're going to be there every single time, and it's really really great that you guys always have teams, and can't wait to see you guys on the rink. And
Well,
then
and you know Doc from BU, don't you?
oh yeah, Dobbs and I go way back.
Of
Yeah,
course.
Dobbs.
I mean, can you speak on a little bit of, like what you know about him and what it's like to have him on the bench?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dobbs came into BU and kind of turned around our program. We had a shout out to our other coach Coleman. He kind of just set the groundwork for how serious we wanted to take the team, and it's been so amazing to have a coach like Dobbs come in as well and kind of have that pro roller experience and come in and just teach us the basics and foundations of all of these systems. And
Right.
I take a lot of stuff that he's taught me and been able to apply that to stuff with the 19U team and even the pro team sometimes. And so I'm very grateful for Dobbs. He is more than just a coach for me. He's a good friend of mine. So I
He's a
really,
nice guy.
he's
He's
just
just
a
a nice.
nice guy. Yeah. Yeah. And then Julia obviously always does a great job of running those teams alongside him. And then you know the other 2 coaches as well for Haichu and Bulldogs a little bit more than I do. You gave Lauren a shout out earlier.
I did. Lauren and I go way back, and I would even go so far as to say that she helped me learn how to play goalie. And I'm
Really?
talking, I'm talking way, way back. I used to have this terrible habit of standing inside the net when the shots were coming at me. So she had another one of our coaches come out, and her and him traded off from standing behind me in the net, holding my hands up and keeping
No
me in the front of the
way.
crease,
That's
which
electric.
to teach me to stay at the top. And I remember her just being like, just don't let him shoot me. That's all I ask. Just don't let the puck hit me. It's very simple. And I was like, yeah, no problem, Miss Lauren. Like, I've got it all under control. And then I ended up in the back of the net, of course. Naturally. But I didn't let the puck hit her, so it's all okay.
I was gonna say it's like a double thing, like don't let the puck hit her and also don't let it go in the net. So
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, it's kind of just my job. But
yeah.
but I love Lauren. She was great to me when I was there. I sent you some photos that we have of
Yeah.
me with a Bulldogs 14 and under girls team back when that division was around. And I think that stopped in what, 2019?
Yeah, 2020 was the last was a year they didn't have any girls divisions, but I think
Right.
2019 was the last time they had the running division.
Yeah, so I did a girls 14U team with the Bulldogs with Lauren, and it had like the Nakioki sisters, Ali Lalonde, Bella Martisic, Emma Tisevsky. I mean, that team was fun, and it was kind of one of my first experiences of playing girls hockey. And I had a good time because I also played in the boys divisions with all these girls. And so it's so
Right.
nice to transfer that chemistry over back to back. You know, you go from playing a super competitive, boys 12 and under game, and now you're switching over to a girls 14 and under game where it's all the same people you were just with, and you get to build that chemistry, like I said, on the rink and off the rink, which is super important.
That's
And
the biggest thing.
Lauren was really, really big about all that. She was really big on the fact that you need to get along with your teammates. Like you
For sure.
have to be able to trust the people you're playing on the rink with. And I think that that's a great point. If you don't trust who you're playing with, you're never going to have the right chemistry to play a game, and you're definitely not going to succeed as well as you could. Lauren, I want to shout out specifically because she's just pushed it so much. And like sometimes it can be hard. We get these waves where you have a lot of girls that want to play hockey, and then we have these waves where maybe they go and try a different sport. And I think right now was really the perfect time for her to push it, because they have so many girls in that Bulldogs programs, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they train during the week, they play all these tournaments, and these girls are just great. And now is the perfect time to grow it. And I know that Ben Frank, Riley Frank's dad, he has been super on board with the whole thing, and obviously Ben Barrett has to have as well. I mean, he owns that whole thing, so I'm sure he's been pushing it as well, and it's just super great to see the Bulldogs grow. I'm so happy for them. Alex Morrison, San Diego, right here, right and down the street from me. I have just been so impressed with their teams every year. He consistently puts in a high Haichu team in every division he can, and he's doing it again this year. We've got that 13 and under, and we've got that 19 and under women's gold, and we've got them in pro too, which we'll get around to. But
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked. Alex is actually a really nice guy when you get the chance to talk to him, and he really cares about the development of the girls. I think that's one of the biggest parts is you have to kind of be in it for other people and not for yourself, and that's what's really important. If you can give all your attention to the team that you're coaching instead of worrying about, well, how do I look, or how does my team look, how is it reflecting on me? Well, it's not about you. It's about the girl. I think that's what it makes a lot of these coaches really different, is it's just that they care about how the development of the girls is and not about how it reflects on them.
Right. No, that's like a whole added aspect to the girls divisions, is that, we have hundreds and hundreds of boys teams just happening, but you got that lone girl on one of those teams, and you never know how far it will take her if she plays with girls her age. And
100%.
people like Lauren, Alex, Laura, Allie, Taylor, Jordan, Julia, Dobbs, they all understand that. They all understand the importance of having those girls have a group of girls play with them, and love each other, love on each other, and just play good roller.
And you and I know what that's like. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I have both been the lone girl on teams before. And it's great, and I think we love it, but there's also something really special about getting to play with maybe some girls your own age, or just girls in the same division who have also been the lone girl on other teams. It's like you get to share some of the same experiences while also being on the same rink.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome to be able to take it in real time too. We're very blessed to do that, and so is everybody else. And so I recommend, if you haven't seen any of these younger girls divisions, please stop by Irvine Inline, be there. You should totally show up and watch. These games are competitive. All of these games have stars playing, and who will be really big players and big proponents of the pro division in 10 years time, 5 years time. And so it's the future. So plan for the future.
Yeah. I think while we're giving credit, we must touch on Celeste.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Celeste.
How could we forget? You
would
played
love
under her for a while, and you played with her.
I did. I would love to give a huge shout out to Celeste. She got me pretty much on one of those first women's pro transitioning teams. So I was with Vanquish for a couple years. We kind of always had a little bit of a different roster every year, but it was fun. Kind of as a goalie, nobody really wants to play a game where they don't see any shots. And let me tell
Right.
you, with revision, I was seeing some shots, and Celeste acknowledged that, and that's okay. I didn't see shots, but I had fun. And I met some girls that I'm still friends with today. And that's kind of like the joy of the whole thing, right? I mean, you get to play on these different
Definitely.
teams. You get to meet new people. You get to have new experiences. Like Sarah Sitting. I just saw her at State Wars this last year, and she was like, "Hey, it's so good to see you again." I was like, "Girl, it's good to see you again." And we only got to play together for a couple games, but it was fun. And you
Yeah.
meet these new people, and playing with Vanquish was fun. Also, Nabil was great. He helped coach with Celeste. Both of them really nice people. Still friends with both of them today, and it was fun to be around.
Yeah, for sure. And I think obviously we have a huge advantage with having you being able to co-host this because you've been around the game for a lot longer than I have, like I'm still relatively new. And so I'm glad that we're able to give credit to all of those people who laid the groundwork and foundation for this amazing, amazing divisions that we're going to be able to see at NARCh.
Well, and I think that, like, piggybacking off of that, you obviously have to give credit to Darren.
Oh, absolutely. Every year he's adding a girls division, and it's awesome. And he's giving, he named it Women's Pro. He's one of the first tournaments to do that. And
slapped some money on it.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes us, more importantly, feel seen and heard in terms of, we're getting on here and we're talking about growing the game, and that's like action. He's showing a lot of action behind promises of growing the game, and I am so hyped every year to go play at NARCh because he puts so much work into it. He gives us the same rink times now that the men's do too, and the women's final plays right before the men's final, and that brings in a really good crowd,
which is huge. That men's final brings in so many people, and so if you can get people that are already there for that maybe don't know about the women's pro division, that now they see this and they're like, wait a second, I might have found a new favorite division.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we want you, come to us, okay? I mean, also Celeste, I think maybe 3 years ago, she did that write-up on.
Oh, right. You sent that to me the other day.
On the women's pro division, and it's kind of what we're doing now, just in
real time
good form. Yeah, exactly. But it's great. That's how you get the word out. When you see a little thing on the NARCh website that says Women Pro Road Up, you're like, wait, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are reading it and kind of scanning for their name, but even if you don't, I mean, it's just so good to have all that information out there. Know about players to watch, know why you're there, know about these teams. I mean, it's just important.
Exactly. And speaking of players to watch, we have one more division to cover. The most important division, some would say, because of how much it has grown over the past couple of years. The women's pro division. This is so huge. We have 8 teams this year. Lost a few, but they're all kind of the same group of players with some new people added into the mix every now and then. We got Pamela Beta Golden Knights, Ringster Vibe, brand new team, Unified Conics Black Ice, Conics Bladers Skate, another brand new team, NCI Phoenix, Terrapins, and of course, Haichu, who I think definitely might have the best jerseys in the entire tournament circuit.
Like them. I do like them.
Alrighty.
They stand out. No?
Oh, yeah, they do.
In this division. It's important.
I agree. And speaking of, I mean, starting with your team, Pama, I'm sure you could give us a little bit more of insight than what I have written down here on our little sheet. But we have some pretty notable absences this year for Pamela Beta Golden Knights. No Corinna Wyman, no Elisa Cadiz, and no Sarah Beer. I think as much as these are all really, really big people to lose, Sarah Beer has been a part of this team for as long as I can remember, right? And so has Elisa. And so having those two kind of big captain vet presence is it's a big loss, and Sarah is so relentless on that D side too. She creates offense, she creates stability I think more
Mm.
importantly on the rink.
She's a
Um,
solid player.
she
I
is,
mean, she
I
knows how
don't
to
think I've ever seen her have a bad game. Ever.
she's smart. You know, when she has the puck, she pretty much knows exactly what she wants to do. And if
Yeah.
she messes up something, I've heard her on the bench, she'll go like, "Hey, that's my bad. You know, I apologize. Like I know I should have done."
Accountability.
And that's so huge on a team.
Absolutely.
Being accountable for not only the things you do good, but the things that maybe you feel that you could have done better. You know, it opens up the floor for others to feel like, oh, okay, you know, if I mess up, nobody's going to scrutinize me. You know, I'm not going to be kicked off the
Yeah.
right. And I think that's super important. But yeah, like you said, no Corinna, which you know it's a bit of a blow. I like having her on the team. She's a nice girl. She works well on the defensive side. Elisa, again, her and
Right.
Lily, love having the both of them. Elisa's great for the team. She's one of those really, she's a glue player, you know.
Right.
Her, Vicky, Emily, all of them have been friends for so long, and the whole team, honestly, they all get along so well. So it can be really hard to lose someone who you're so close with. So I think that'll be a blow for sure. As far as who's going to step up, I think it could really be anyone. I think defensively, I might be a little biased because I live right next to her, but Lily Pogu is great. She
Yeah.
gets in the way of shots. She can read plays. She communicates really well, and I think her and Vicky as well. I both of them. They're both phenomenal players. I
Yeah.
haven't been with Palma for very long. I think we know that, but you know, I'm not exactly sure who to say is really going to step up. I think that they're all super great. Lindsey Grigg, specifically.
Oh, she's huge. She
She's
is
a
so huge.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, she's great. Montana, she's an absolute dog. She will battle for the puck like no one's business. And I think that's something that you absolutely need on a team. You need someone who's willing to run that forecheck, get in the way, kind of disrupt these teams a little bit on their breakout. I mean, like, what's better than that?
Yeah, I completely agree. I've been saying for a very long time. I think for one of the first times I met you, when you told me that you were close to Vicky, she's like one of my favorite players to watch in this division. I think she's
Absolutely.
so solid, so consistent, and finding consistency is so hard, and
Right.
being able to count on those players to consistently show up and play. Even when she played USA last summer, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She
With
was
Chloe and
great.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking of Brooke, I have her as my player to watch this summer.
Our
She
PWHL champion.
yeah,
I
she's coming
mean,
off another Walter Cup championship with the Minnesota Frost, which is huge, which means she's been training. She's always training, always on
oh,
skates.
she's always buzzing. Always.
She's always buzzing. And yeah, obviously you and Frankie sharing the pipes and being able to kind of have a tandem there. You guys have a great relationship, and it's super cool to be able to have two of the best goaltenders in the division on the same team. Kind of, I mean, I wouldn't even, if I was the coach, I wouldn't even know who to put in. You guys are both super, super talented. So I'm excited to see who gets what.
Well, it's nice because Frankie and I have known each other for a long time. And she actually gave me like my second set of like brand new gear ever. And she was like
No
super big
way.
on like the Reebok gear. I think maybe her uncle worked for them or something like that. But
Mhm.
I'm like I always got gear from Frankie, you know? So it's like it would always be like we'd see each other and then we'd be like, so you have some gear or
It's
got,
kind of full circle now that you
got
guys are
anything
playing
laying
on the same
around? Yeah.
team.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I've known Frankie since I was probably like 12 or 11, 12, 13, somewhere around that.
Yeah.
Somewhere 11 to
Yeah.
13 adjacent.
Yeah,
But
within that
anyways,
range.
you know, yeah, right. But I'm 21 now. It's been so many years, and it's been so great to watch her really excel. I mean, she went and played college at the Shoe at Sacred Heart, you know. And then I know she was at Mercyhurst for a year.
Yeah.
She's a great goalie, and she's a really nice person.
I was
When I
gonna
went
say even better person,
even
right?
better person. When I went to State Wars with them last summer, that was kind of my first experience with them. And she was super welcoming, super accommodating. Anytime I had questions, she was there to answer them. She kind of let me in on all the small little team rituals, all the things that they do. And it was just really nice to kind of have someone to lean on while you're there.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, literally wiping up the
Yeah.
tears.
I want to comment on we have a player coming back called Mercedes, and
Oh,
she
I was gonna ask, do you guys like,
Mhm.
I mean, I wrote it in our sheet, like, I guess in the absence of Corinna, Elise, and Sarah, you guys probably have more international talent coming from Spain.
I
España.
España. I would think so. I mean, obviously, both of those, the younger Spain girls, we have Olivia and we have Blanca. Both of them are just absolute powerhouses. I
Yeah.
mean, they come in with speed like no other. Like I genuinely feel that they're unmatched. I mean, Blanca specifically, she is phenomenal. She finds the smallest crevices to sneak through. I swear to you. I mean, if she sees a gap, she's taking it right away. And the shot is lethal. Olivia, the same thing. She's young, but she's powerful. Her and Blanca work so well together. But Mercedes, who will be coming in, we had her for Winter Nationals. She's tall. She gets in the way. She's a good powerhouse forward. I, as a goalie, I love a player who can
You
score.
love that.
I love a player who can score. If I can keep it out of the net and you could score, I mean, perfect. It's a great day. It's a great day to be a goalie. So I'm super excited. You know, I don't want to give away all of our secrets, but I'm super excited for this summer. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm excited to play you guys. Hopefully not 4 times or 5 times. I don't know how many times we played you guys last year, but I hope we definitely get to meet you guys again.
Between us, though,
Wait, say it again?
I said it's been an absolute battle between us.
Yeah, it's so fun to play you guys every single time. I think we play a little bit different, but also a little bit similar at the same time, you know, because we both have younger players on our team.
Right.
And so I think out of 3 of the 4 times, it was 1-goal games.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Which is huge. And I think that's kind
Yeah.
of what you guys have the advantage of, is that, you know, it's not that you guys are this like brand new team, but you are a newer team moving up into that pro division, and you have some of these girls that are all playing these different styles. And so it can kind of catch people on their heels, you know?
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
It's almost like unsuspecting. And I think that might have just been what happened to us, was it's like we didn't even know what to run, right? I mean, it's so hard to figure out a new team, right? And of course we had to play you guys in the playoff, and that game was unbelievably tight. Was it overtime?
I think it was 1-0.
Yeah,
for State Wars.
Yeah.
Regulation, and then NARCh was overtime.
Correct. Yes. Always a battle. I'm looking forward to it again.
Yeah. All right, moving into Ringster. Ringster, you know, you can never go wrong. This team is absolutely filthy top to bottom. Everyone in the lineup contributes in some way. You know, everyone's got a point, 2 points, 3 points at the end of a weekend every single time, and it's impressive. Their depth is so lethal that it is hard to keep up with, you know.
Absolutely.
And they're adding more players, you know. Ana Sierra from Spain, she was at Winter Nationals with them. Also taller player, plays a little bit of a different style than the normal Ringster way, but she fits in really well, I thought. And then as well as they got Bailey Bennett coming in this year. I think she's been in the roller world for a little bit, but she hasn't been playing in a women's division. And she's been playing with them for a while now, for the last couple of months. She played with them at Wish Cup. She's gross. She's pretty good. Who's shocked? Not me at all, because Ringster always brings in these people, and I'm like, who are you and why are you filthy? You know? And she's great, and she'll come in as a great replacement for Kendall Curtis.
No Kendall Curtis, which
no Kendall Curtis.
Something really important to touch on. I mean, she is a good player.
Yeah.
She knows exactly where to be. She knows all their plays. She is just, I mean, you want to talk about depth? She is a huge core part to that team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, huge part of this team, she might have been a newer addition, but no Kyla Kraft. Kyla is probably one of the best forwards in the entire world. I don't think that's a far assumption. I think
just put it all out there.
Yeah. And she is so strong on her feet, so skilled, right place, right time. And when her and Tia played together last year, I was like, the fact that you guys are on the same line right now is ridiculous. Like,
let me tell you, as a goalie, I was shaking in my boots. I get on the goal line to start the game, and all I look up and I see Kyla Kraft and I see Tia. I'm like, oh brother.
Might as well just step out of the way and just let them score.
Oh, do you want this? Oh, that's okay. It's all yours.
It's all yours. But despite that, Um, Even though they have no Kendall Curtis, no Kyla, I think the player to watch, despite having so much talent, Tanner Gates.
Mm.
I think Tanner has come such a long way in roller. I think last year she was still trying to find her feet, and now she's got it down packed. I'll tell you that for sure. I played her a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago now, and she was so solid, so
Mhm.
good. Her hands are disgusting. She has such great vision and IQ. And I
And
think
great
that's
pigtails.
yeah, and great pigtails. Shout out to the pigtails.
They never change. They're always there. They're
I
always
mean, why fix it if it ain't broke? You know what I mean?
exactly.
And then the big question mark is Jolie Taylor.
Who
Great
gets the
goalie
start?
tandem. Who will get the start? We've seen Jolie take in some really important games at State Wars last year since Taylor couldn't make it, and then Taylor took most of the games at NARCh. And both of them proved to be extremely effective in net for them.
Absolutely.
Despite, sometimes they don't get as many shots and they don't get challenged as much, but when they need to, they definitely rise to the occasion. And so it's been super cool to see, especially Jolie. She is the reigning MVP for senior and junior women's at the World Championships, right?
Hmm.
And so shout out Jolie. You are so solid, and also great person too. On top of that,
Perfect.
uh, all right, moving on to another Ringster team,
The
Ringster
ringster vibe.
Ringster Vibe. This is great. New team. We love it. New teams are great. And then from what we know, this is the Junior USA team with some vets. We have Catherine Santos, who Laura told me has been kind of taking a hiatus from roller hockey, and now she's back. She's
Welcome back.
making her pro NARCh Finals women's pro debut with this younger team, and it's what all the words together: debut, return,
Just
whatever.
squish them together.
Yeah. And then Charlotte Nicholson, and who I believe she has a big part in running USARS, and
Mm.
as well as Tori Pizzuto, who has done a lot of the Pan American events, the USA development team stuff. And then a big add-on last second is Danielle Sparoff in net, who has also
Goalie. You had her
yeah,
last year.
I did have her last year. She was pretty great for us, and she, where we lacked, she picked up, and so this is going to be great for the youngins, I think, too. Have these like having a strong goalie and having a younger team is, I think, really important, and so I think they got all the ingredients for a recipe of success. There we go.
Absolutely. And it's so good to have a good mix of the youngers and I don't want to say the olders, I want to say the more experienced,
The
right?
veterans. Let's say
Absolutely.
that.
The veterans. I think that's so important. And like I said earlier about the draft, it's so important to mix styles and kind of try different things, see what really works with today's game. Because even
Definitely.
from last summer to this summer, the game's going to change. We've got new people coming in, we've got a different style of play, we've got a different pace. And that's what's almost going to be key for Ringster Vibe is that they're going to get the chance to kind of test out all these different systems and see which one works best.
And to their advantage, like we were saying, it's difficult to play a new team. You know,
Absolutely.
we've never seen these players play together. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen them play individually, and
Mm-hmm.
there's only so much that we can take into account at that point. I know
For sure.
Tori is super skilled. She's got a great shot. Charlotte is just she's like the captain of all captains. I don't even know how to explain it. She is just such a great leader through and through. And it's she was also with the at Masters tournament in Germany the other month, and she was the captain for that team, and I'm sure she'll be a really big presence for this team as well.
Oh,
Despite having these veteran players, we do have our player to watch, for me at least, Jays Mets. I love Jays so much. Jays plays on our 19U team. I met her, I believe. I met her in Tampa 2 summers ago, I want to say,
mhm.
2023. Um, and I went up to her and I was like, hey, I don't have a team or anything, but I'm gonna make one. And when I do, you're gonna be the first person I call. Like, I hope you know
Mhm.
that. And she was the first person I called when we were doing a 19U team. And she was so big for us last year. And she's going to be such a force to be reckoning with in this pro division. And I personally am so jealous that they have her on this team. And hopefully one day she'll be wearing a Black Ice uniform in pro. But this is such a well-deserved spotlight for her.
Of
And
course.
I'm
She's a
so
dog.
excited.
I mean,
There's no other way to describe her other than she's a dog. Period.
100%. I genuinely, when we played 19 and under with her, she battled for every single puck that came her way. There was never a moment where she was like, maybe somebody else got it. No, she was there. You need her there, she's teleporting. You need her there, she's already there. Okay, she was there yesterday. She is glued to the puck. She knows exactly where she needs to be. She's very positionally sound, and she works well with other people. Talking to Jays feels like a nice warm hug. That's what it's like.
Yes, that's
wonderful.
so awesome. I love that.
I could make the easiest save that just fell into my glove with a flutter, and she would be like, "That's a great save. Way to be." Thank you so much. Thank you. That is so kind. I mean, she is just a sweet girl. And I mean, just leave the sweet off the rink, because on the rink, she was just there to battle.
Oh,
she
yeah.
would have taken anyone down in the corner. Anyone.
I remember last year we played NCI Phoenix in the pro quarterfinal, and she needed a pro team, and so I got Dobbs to take her, and she was just so relentless on the forecheck. Having her on the forecheck is like, oh my God, blessing in disguise. You never would think
100%.
that somebody so kind and so nice off the rink like this would have that much fire and dog in them to fight for the puck every single time. And it is so great, and I'm so grateful to have met her when I did. And now she's becoming really big in the pro scene, and I'm really excited to see how she does.
Yeah.
Alrighty, on the list next, we got
Black Ice.
We got Black Ice. We got Unified Conics Black Ice.
Unified Conics Black Ice. I want to just take a second and say that I'm so excited to see you guys this summer. So excited. We talked about it before. It's always an absolute battle with you guys, and I think it's going to be that way with every team that you play. I mean, when you think about it, you have so much talent coming in. You've got some international talent coming in, a lot of the same core girls. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. You're growing and you're evolving.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, with Natalie and Net, I mean, we talked about it before. She's an absolute brick wall. She is phenomenal. She communicates. She worked well with the team. I mean, there's nothing better than a goalie that talks a little.
Well, absolutely. And to be able to also, you're going to have to take your chances as a defenseman, right? Like, as a defenseman, you're going to have to bite and step up a little bit. And maybe 2 times out of 10, you're going to get walked, And that's just going to happen. But to know that you got somebody that you can rely on in the back is
100%
even more important, 100%. And so
it makes you more confident as a player.
Absolutely.
And when you're more confident, you make less mistakes.
And again, like we said earlier, like, being great on the rink is super important, but being great off the rink too. And she is literally the sweetest person I've ever met in my life. And I am so glad she kind of just fell into the palm of my hands a little bit.
I think I told you about her.
I think you mentioned her, and then she had YouTube videos and stuff, and I looked up, like a stat sheet or something for State Wars, and I was like, do you know this girl, like Natalie Miller?
I told you I had remembered a girl being there because I went to State Wars, I think maybe 2021, and we were doing the 2005 like AAA showcase. And then I remember as I'm leaving the rink, they were doing one of the younger groups, and they called a girl, and I was like,
hello?
A girl? A woman? And I mean, it draws your attention. It does. Definitely. When you see a girl succeeding in a boys division, it draws your attention. And so I remembered her right off the bat from that.
Yeah, she's great. And I'm so lucky, and to be able to also have your word on that too gave me a little bit more confidence, kind of going in blind a little bit with her. She was great. Amazing. And then obviously we're going to bring in, yeah. And then obviously we're going to bring in a little bit more international talent this year. Worked out so well for us last year. We're bringing in a little bit more. So Charlotte Chantra, like I said, for our 19U team, she is also staying for pro. She's such a great person, such a great human. But more importantly, we're bringing back some Namibian firepower. We got Christina Rocher, Susie Ketsi, and Lana. I think I'm gonna butcher her last name, but I think
Just like mumble it a little.
Bajorat, I think is her last name. It starts with the B and it's like a Bjorat. So I'm like, I don't know how the B and the J work, but I'm sure it'll,
Let's
figure
talk about
itself out.
Christina.
Oh, absolutely. Last year's NARCh Pro top scorer at NARCh and State Wars, actually.
I mean, talk about an absolute accolade.
Oh, yeah. With her first ever NARCh Pro tournament, by the way.
How ridiculous. How ridiculous.
And again, she is the sweetest girl also too. I mean, I was staying with her for those 2 weeks last summer, and I have never been around people who just spread so much love, so much kindness. They were just
happy to be there.
They were. And
you remember when they were saying they've never been to a Walmart?
Oh yeah. I remember. This is so funny. I picked them up from the airport, and they had a game later that day, and I remember we went to Walmart because they needed some stuff, and they walk in and they're like, I've never seen so many shampoos in my life. And I was like, this is crazy. They're going wild. My God. They're going feral over the amount of shampoo options there are.
See every day, which is like the craziest part. And then they got to go to, I'm pretty sure they went to downtown Disney, which I'm sure
they did. Yes. Shout out Mackenzie Williams. When I went back to work for a week, she kind of took care of them for me. Shout out to Marty and all the family all the way over there as well. J-Mart.
Shout out J-Mart.
And Mia. You guys are great. Love you guys, like a second family out there for me in Cali. And they were able to do all of the California things and not have to worry about doing anything with me at work. And so it was really great to have them off my hands for a little bit. And
that means Susie too.
Oh yeah, both of them, obviously. Susie. Our dear Susie. You guys have like the cutest picture ever. It's on your Instagram. Of when you guys won 19s last year. It is adorable.
Put that in.
Yeah, it'll be right up there.
My Lizane Kotsi, she is wonderful. She is the brightest soul, and she is a smart player. You know,
talk about right place, right time as a player.
Goodness,
her every time.
Like our overtime goal for 19 and under.
Oh yeah. Oh,
she was right there. She was ready. She literally. Hold my drink, and she was there. That's what it felt like. And
no, it's true.
Absolutely batter and bruise that goalie to get that goal, but she did not care. She was just there all day. In fact, she ran me over last year, so I know she doesn't care.
Also putting that picture right up there.
Also a great photo to add. Thank you for running me over and almost concussing me. I love you so much, and you are wonderful.
I'm trying to think who else we got. Laura Gamboa from Colombia is going to be joining us as well.
Saw her last year. I'm pretty
at PJKA. Yes,
I met her.
And oh, you did?
Oh, I did. I did a PAMA event with her when they did
the little tournament,
the 3v3. Yes, which also that place is glorious. Just saying. But I met Laura. She was very sweet, very kind. It's so nice to walk into a place and not feel hostility, nice to be around players who all want to be there for the same reason. She's a talented player. She knows what she's doing. Just fun to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm super excited to have her on our squad.
Yeah. I mean, after a nice stressful weekend of pro and every other division, all the other 4 divisions or whatever, just nice to watch some good hockey and not feel stressed out about it. And she was one of those players to watch for sure.
Definitely. And I'm excited to have her. Last year, she was supposed to play with us, and then she got picked up with PGK a little bit earlier, and so we missed out on that opportunity. And so I'm glad that we're able to pick her up this year.
Running it back.
All right. And then enough about us. We got another Connex team. Connex Blader Skate. This is so exciting. This is honestly such a great team for such a great cause. This is led by
deal.
Yes, this is led by Blake Bolden. I believe this is raising awareness and raising money for Blader Skate Ghana. And if you guys need any more information on that, go check out her page. She has a ton of videos explaining where all of this where all of this information is, and it's so great. And she has a pretty hell of a roster for this team as well. You know, way to come in with a new team and some new
Mm.
players too.
Blake is wonderful. I got the chance to play last finals with her, and she is extremely uplifting. And that's something so huge to have in the locker room. You know, mental is just as important as physical, I feel like, when you're going into a game. And she was just one of those uplifting spirits. It didn't matter how the game was going. She knew exactly what to say to get people right back on track. And going to her as a person, she is so influential. You know, she has her fingers in so many different organizations. She knows exactly what it means to be a successful businesswoman. I mean, she's a big deal. And
She's a
she runs,
badass.
oh, she
Plain and
is
simple.
so sick, so sick. And her slap shot, I might as well give you the net. Just, you know, just have the goal. Okay, don't shoot it. I'm gonna just put one up on the scoreboard and then we can just go our separate ways. I mean, talk about an absolute shot. That's definitely one you, if my player's standing in front of it, I got a feeling they're turning out of the way. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to feel that one
Yeah.
through the gear for sure. But she is just, I mean, overall, I mean, she's a genius. She knows exactly
Yeah.
how to run a business. She's a great hockey player. One of the best hockey IQs, I think I would say. She's definitely one of the smartest ones out there. But she's been practicing. I've seen it on her Instagram. I will admit I'm an Instagram stalker.
You and me both.
Hey. I know she's been practicing. I'm sure she's been telling the girls that are coming in that they need to be on their blades. And I know that this one definitely holds a real big purpose for her. You know, this is a really big deal.
Absolutely. And you know, there's nothing better than having a cause to fight for as well. I think she is already such a talented player and she already plays with so much heart. That add playing for a whole community of people who look up to you, you know, she's gonna come out guns a-blazing, and she's brought the talent with her as well. Kelly Nash is a longtime roller player who is making her a long way to return to the tile. We are super excited to see you come back and make this division stronger. And as well as we see some D1 hockey talent as well. I think when we saw the trailer kind of come out that she posted, she had put, I think it's Cassie Hall. Is that her name? She played at Wisconsin. And then as well as we have Alana Kendra and Sarah Power, who are coming over from Revel, I believe. And they'll kind of fill in the rest of the roster there with some other new players. This is a little bit up in the air. This might be speculation, but I want to say Reagan Russ will be back this summer and she will be playing with this team.
Very exciting.
And
Very
if
exciting.
not, then I'm incorrect and I'm sorry for spreading rumors.
And you know her from BU, right?
We never like met at BU, but I met her at a Bauer event 2 years ago or last summer, and she's so kind. And I remember talking to Kirsten Toth at Wish Cup, and we're always like, yeah, like ice players, like they can't just come in and play a roller tournament, you know, like it takes a little bit of time to get used to the blades. And they were like, but the only exception to that was Reagan Rust. And so I'm excited to play against her if she does end up showing up to this event. And again, same kind of thing, showing up for a big cause. And we got a new goalie as well. A new goalie, which we don't see very often. We kind of see the same 10 kind of filter around.
Up. Yeah, I mean, you see people that are kind of transitioning up, but this one is brand new to roller.
Yeah, I believe she started playing in the Massachusetts Elite Hockey League with me last summer. And I played against her a couple times. Her name's, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. We don't know each other super well. But Tara is her name. She plays with in the new Connecticut New Haven League that Frankie plays in.
Yes.
And so 2 girl goalies in that league, great representation. Hopefully we can get some more players into that league soon. Um, but I mean, I just saw a highlight of her playing, and I'll
Mhm.
put it up here. And I mean, we might have a new superstar goalie on our hands because that was a really great save that she had made, and I'm sure that's not the first one that she's made like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, not to be biased, but goalies are almost the backbone of, every single team. And it's like you
Hands
said,
down.
if you feel confident with the goalie that's behind you, you feel better as you're playing. You can make better plays and you don't have to feel like you have to hold on to the puck all the time just to save your team. And so it's such a great thing to have a goalie that that you trust. And I don't think Blake would ever pick up somebody that she didn't trust.
Absolutely. And again, Blake is uh knows exactly, like you said, knows exactly how to run a business, which means she knows exactly how to run a team. And so she's picking up these players, and she made a huge pickup with my player to watch, which is Claire Peterson.
Mm.
Claire Peterson is a longtime high two player playing out of the NorCal area, played at UConn, was a Hockey East champion with them 2 years ago.
Hmm.
She is just unbelievable. She is such a great defenseman. One of those players that you just know won't lose the puck, you know? And she is relentless and just so fun to watch too, because you're like, wow, she's just so solid. And I'm again another pickup that I'm jealous of because I wish she was playing with us, and she's a great defenseman, and this will definitely be huge in having that kind of uh, long-lasting roller experience that this team lacks compared to other teams, right? And so, Blake's been playing roller, Claire, you got Alana, Sarah, and then Kelly Nash too. That's already more than 4 people. You got some depth there at least, people to count on. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Shall we move on to NCI?
Absolutely. These 2 next teams we don't know a ton of yet. I'm sure when the rosters drop, when we won't have to speculate anymore, but a little bit of question marks with these 2 teams in terms of
Mm.
rosters, but super talented rosters already just with the names that we do have.
Of course. Zoe Zamora. I specifically recall her playing a lot with Karina Barrett on that NCI team,
Yes.
and they together are a force.
Kind of
Zoe,
scary, I'm not even gonna lie.
a little scary. Zoe's a really good forward. I think that her and Karina did a really good job of figuring out a way to split the D and get kind of in there. And that's kind of what you have to do here is you have to get creative with how you want to get inside the box. But I want to talk about their goalie.
Oh, you and me both, bro, because she let's talk about
Talk
Jade.
about
Let's
young
talk about Jade.
talent. Talk about
Yeah.
young talent, right? Jaden Elias, she's great. She is unbelievably athletic, and she is positionally so sound. And I think she has that highlight that I think Wheel Talk did for her, maybe for State
Oh,
Wars.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll put it
Oh
up
my
there.
oh my goodness. I mean, she shut down the Ringster team. And I mean, we've talked about them over and over and over again. That is a very skilled team. They have set plays, they know exactly where they want to go. Like they wave their stick and the puck just ends up there. And Jaden, she just teleports there. She's like she already knows. She was there 5 days ago, Like she's ready to go. She can move side to side unbelievably well. Unbelievably well. And she's got great hand-eye. I mean, she is just a good goalie. It's plain and simple.
She's legit, man. Like I played with her at Winter Nationals this
Mhm.
past January, and um we compared to the other teams, we just didn't have the depth, and she was so huge for us. Oh my gosh, I'm sure you remember when we played you guys. I think we played you guys twice, yeah? And
Yeah,
I mean, she kept us in, and somehow the score ended up being 3-2. You know,
right.
it was or 4-2, something like that. Pretty closer than people would imagine, but
Doesn't
it
even matter.
was,
But it was a
yeah,
close game.
it was a really close game, and she kept us in it. And like you said, like she's super athletic, super like she's really good at anticipating the play as well.
Yes.
And so, not in like a cheating way, like how some goalies cheat a little bit too much and then it gives away the other side. Um,
Right.
she's always just on it. And
Right.
she might be small, but she covers the
She
entire
mighty.
net.
She mighty.
She is mighty for sure.
Mm-hmm. It ain't about the size of the dog. It's about the size of the fight in the dog.
Exactly. I love that.
I mean, she's consistently, I would imagine, one of those players where you get back in the locker room and the coach is like, I hope you thanked your goalie because she just saved
Yeah.
that game for you.
Literally every single time I went back into the locker room at Winter Nats, I was like, bro, like
Thank
you're
you so much,
so
dude. Like,
nasty. Yeah.
there's no
And,
better feeling as a goalie, let me tell you. And I mean, sometimes it's exhausting, but it still feels nice at the end of the day.
yeah. And she shined, let me tell you. Like she had the spotlight on her all weekend that time we
Mhm.
played, and I'm sure it'll be no different here as well. But they've got some great players with in front of them as well too. You know, Zoe Zamora and then Carly Marquise is also playing. She's former Palma player, plays out of the
Mhm.
NorCal area, got picked up by NCI. And
Yes.
she's great. She's super solid, roller girl through and through. As well as one of our younger players, Emma Singleton, will be making her pro debut with NCI Phoenix this summer, and I am so excited for her. She is such a
Yes.
great human, and they take great care of their players, in my opinion, you know, if they're playing once or twice with them. And I am so grateful to be able to know that she's in good hands. Not
Yes.
that
And
I'm
she
like
has
her mom or
blossomed.
anything, but
Feels like it
but
though. I
but
mean,
I feel
you
I
used to be
definitely
around them.
yes, I definitely do feel like you know, they grow up so fast kind of thing because she's only 16, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe 16 turning 17, but she
17.
has blossomed.
Yeah. Like
She
I
has just
remember we were talking about her right as I was making this 19U roster the
Mhm.
first time, and she was like one of the first names that I had mentioned as well. And it was honestly like automatic. As soon as I talked to her parents and as soon as I talked to her, I was like, this is definitely a kid that I want on our team, no doubt.
Absolutely. And the family is completely all in. I mean, we know her dad.
Yeah.
He is just like he is so there for it, and I know that he loves you. He loves having Emma on a competitive team, and I think Emma just loves being around girls that get her and people that she
Yeah.
can have fun with and not feel super pressured.
Yeah, and I know that there's some players on this team here that are just going to make her feel super welcome and at home, and I cannot wait to see it happen. I mean, they got some good vets too. You know, Gabby Vizuskin, I think is that how you pronounce her name. Um, she's also like crazy on the forecheck. Like player you
Mm,
want on your team, you don't want to play against her, and she's getting out of
absolutely.
the puck. And even though you might think it's a little bit silly, she wears the mouth guard. Definitely needs it because she's going into the corners
Oh,
like
she
crazy.
battles.
She's
She
battling.
battles.
I have so much respect for her, and it's great to be able to have that physicality in the play.
Yeah,
Um,
she's one of those players. If you see her coming, you've got about 2 seconds to move that puck
maybe.
before you're squished.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Awesome. I'm sure there's a ton of more talented players on that team that we didn't get to touch on. As soon as the rosters come out, we'll put some polls up on our stories and see what you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
And then so last but not least, last team that we're gonna get to talk about, Haichu. Of course, they are a staple in this women's division.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna see a women's division without Haichu in it. And this team is led by none other than Bella Marticic.
Mm-hmm.
She, there's a bug in my room. She, Bella Marticic, is so talented. Can be
Mm-hmm.
forward or defense. You know, you're gonna get caught by her toe drag one of these days. Whether it's first round of round robin playoffs, she's gonna pull it out anytime that she wants to because she is so dang solid at it, and
Absolutely.
she's got a great shot too. You
I mean,
know,
you want to talk about speed. I mean, when she turns it on, she is there
lightning, man. And
right away.
speaking of lightning quick, you know, you cannot have Haichu without Asher Pritzen. You know, and she's
Ash,
won like fastest skater, like I don't know, a
sh-
gajillion times. I'm
it's
sure. I don't know.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like
Yeah.
she walks in and she just collects the championship already. I mean, it's remarkable. And also shout out Ash to your dog. Your dog is so cute. If I can insert a photo, I will. I love your little dog. I'm so happy to be an auntie. Um, I mean, Ash is such a big deal for the Haichu group. I mean, she's a super talented player. She's playing at Michigan State, I'm pretty sure, on their ice hockey team. Am I correct?
Yes, on their Acha D1 team.
Yeah, and I mean, she is, I would think, maybe one of those glue players for that team. I mentioned it earlier how there's certain players that kind of bring everyone together, and I really think she's one of those people for that team with Alex, and she seems like the leader type. And I mean, I would love to have her on my team. Hate to play against her. She knows how to get in and out of any tricky spot, any of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like, even though there are a little bit more question marks with this team than some of the other ones, like I said, the ones that we do know, they're ferocious. They will come to
Absolutely.
play. They are a staple on this team. They are a staple in this division. Bella Martisic is constantly a top contender for top scorer in this division. And it's just, it's gonna be any tournament now where she's gonna absolutely go off and get that award for sure. And so I'm really
Absolutely.
excited. And between the pipes, you have the scoring and you have the offense and
Talent.
you have the defense, but between the pipes, it's just as good as what you got in front of it, right? And so
Hmm.
we got Ella Park for Haichu once again, finishing up her second year at Trine. Uh, I
I think
believe
so.
is
I think
yeah.
so.
I played with her once 2 years ago, and man, she is talk about athletic. That is the peak that you're gonna get. That is probably some of the most athletic goaltending that you're gonna see in this division for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, she is so positionally on point. And I would kind of maybe relate her a little bit to Natalie. Her and Ella have very similar styles. She knows how to get across the crease. She knows how to communicate with her team. She is all in, all there, all the time. And she is super, super big for that Haichu program. I mean, talk about literally having the backbone of your team. The goalie is super, super important, and Ella is lockdown.
Yeah, I'm again really excited. These players playing together for a long time come a long way from since they were, however young that they started playing at to now
Mhm.
they're in their 20s, right? And so it's a pretty huge deal, and I'm really excited to see this division now with this age group that has kind of really that everyone has been able to see grow up
Of course.
um, through this division. And so we have one more team for you guys, the Terrapins. They are a brand new team last year. They brought in some veteran talent and some ringster players who I believe are now playing for Encore at NARCh Finals. And so I'll be really interested to see who they have. I know that they have O'Hara in net, of course. That's a staple. They'll always have her on the back end. And she's been playing pretty often. She's always playing at Peoria in Arizona. And so I'll be interested to see. I'm pretty sure she manages the team as well in terms of, recruitment. And so I think that she's got a pretty good eye. And so I'm excited to see who she brings in. I believe a new player that we have coming in for that team is Emma Titus. I want to say that she played D1 at Ohio State a while ago. And she's been playing at the new Heatwave Arena with Nasher. And she looks pretty solid, so I'm excited to see her make her debut. I'm also excited to hopefully see Kim Mel out there with the Terrapins. I've given her a couple shout outs already, but I just love the way she plays, and she's also just an amazing person. And she's a really, really big staple for that team, and she was last year. So I'm excited to see her come back, hopefully. And, she belongs in the pro division, and so I hope she sticks with that. And then in terms of some more players for the Terrapins, I think they're shaking up their roster a little bit compared to last season. So I think we're in for a couple of surprises, but I'm super excited to see what they have in store. Yeah, that wraps up our Pro Division preview, our 19U Division preview. Shout out again to all of those other teams that are competing in the other divisions. I'm sure after the NARCh after NARCh finishes up, we'll be able to recap and give you guys a little bit more in depth about players that really stood out for all of those teams. And also, we wanted to give a really, really, really big shout out to the queen of women's roller hockey herself,
Women's
Ali
roller hockey
Era.
herself, Ali Era.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's huge. She started that entire Instagram page. She worked on creating that entire draft. And I really think that, it's super important having that draft just a couple months before finals, because you get all these people coming out of the woodworks and, maybe they're playing for their first time in a couple years and they're like, wait, I can do this. And then maybe it inspires them to hop on a team or build their own team. And that's so important. And, Ali did that. You want to talk about people that did something? She did that. That's how you grow the game. You bring people in, you create new events, you get people excited to play again.
Yeah, absolutely. Like through and through, I think that the women's draft is one of the best events of the year, and I look forward to it all the time because not only is it a great place to meet new people, but it's also a great place to see new talent. And so,
Yeah.
get players who you haven't seen in a long time, or new players to the new to the sport. And Ali does a fantastic job of running that every single year. And I am so grateful to be able to be a part of that event in any sort of capacity that she lets me be, and to give me the opportunity as well to be on the podcast with her when we first started doing it a couple years ago, and now kind of handing off the torch to us and being able to pick up where the podcast left off last. And so
Absolutely.
yeah,
And a bit of like a shameless plug. I'm pretty sure women's roller hockey has like merch. No?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so. And if it's not on the website, I'm sure we'll be able to have some at NARCh Finals. If you want some, reach out to Allie, DM her on women's roller hockey, DM one of us, whatever you guys feel most comfortable with, and we'll see if we can get you some merch from the tournament. But yeah, another shout out again, last shout out to Rob and Ant at Roller Dad News for letting us partner up with women's roller hockey to do this. This is so huge for the game, and we're super excited to come back to you guys for our next episode, which I'm sure will be either a NARCh recap or some big State Wars preview as well.
Okay, let's wrap this thing up. We were so happy to be here with you guys today. We had a blast. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and look forward to some new episodes coming out here pretty soon. We're going to be kind of touching on State Wars, which has a lot new things coming its way. Also, just be touching on some other little things during the summer,
Yeah, awesome. It was super great to get back on the mic with you guys. Shout out Kat, first pod, killed it. And
Yay!
cannot wait to see you guys in Irvine. Don't be afraid to say hello. We love saying hi to everybody and talking to new people. So
Oh, and if you're watching this and you need a team, you can DM Miranda, DM
yes.
me. We'll drop our Instagrams down below, DM Women's Roller Hockey. We will try to get you there. We want everyone to play. We want everyone to have a place to play.
Yeah, put your name on the Roller Dad News free agent list or the Women's Roller Hockey free agent list. One of those are bound to get you a team.
Absolutely.
And if not, reach out to us. We'll do the best we possibly can to get you on a team this summer because everybody deserves a place to play. Awesome.
Great.
Bye, everyone.